Hi guys, what's up? It's me, Christina from Sermondo. Welcome to our latest episode of Sermondo Talks. My today's guest is going to be Bradley Sutton, who's the Director of Training and Customer Success at Helium 10. I will speak with him about how their tool can help you improve your business, what makes them different from the other tools, and the people behind Helium 10. Let's say hi.
Let me switch from my my buyer's hat to my official. There we go.
Really good placement.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here today with Bradley Sutton. He's living in California and he's the Director of Training and Customer Success at Helium 10, as you can see on his cap. And besides that, he's a pretty successful Zumba instructor, I have seen, and a Zumba wrestler, right?
Yes, I have worn many hats in my day of different strange things, but I always like doing not what's everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that you even have a YouTube channel with almost 30,000 subscribers.
Yes, I used to be crazy back in the day. I used to travel the world doing Zumba classes because I was never a great dancer, but my story was so crazy. You know, I used to be a sumo wrestler, and then I lost 70 pounds and became a Zumba instructor. So everybody loved the story, and so kind of went viral. My videos.
Oh, wow. Well, I think that's a crazy story and a pretty cool one. And I'm super glad to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And I've seen that you moved to new offices lately, right?
Yes, yeah, we have an amazing office, a brand new facility, and we have a tequila tasting room in our office and massage therapy who comes here, you know, like every couple of weeks, and pool tables and big screen TV and Xbox. It's kind of like working for Google here at Helium 10.
So nice. Now I'm thinking of quitting Sermondo and just switching to Helium 10.
Come on over.
So speaking of Helium 10, you're basically an all-in-one seller suite, you could say, right? Could you
Yes.
tell me in one sentence, in your own words, what Helium 10 offers?
So basically, Helium 10 offers A to Z solution for Amazon sellers. Anything that you need, no matter the level, if you're a brand new seller, we have nine-figure sellers using our products, but every step of the journey in Amazon, we've got it for you.
Okay, so would you say that makes you different from your competitors, or what would you say differentiates you from the rest?
I would say so. Like, I mean, some people say, "Oh, who's your competitors?" And I say, we really don't have any competitors, and I don't mean that in a boastful way, but we have over 20, 25 tools. So individually, our tools are competing maybe with other companies' tools. But overall, since nobody has the amount of tools that we have, then that's why I think we're kind of in a separate class. But yeah, a lot of the tools we have does compete with others. But overall, I think we're the only one that has so many in one suite.
So I imagine when you can offer so many different tools that a lot of people work for Helium 10. How many employees do you have roundabout?
We have about 80 employees total.
80 employees. Oh yeah, that's huge. And you're growing, I assume, when you're already switching offices.
Yes, I mean, and we thought maybe this office would be good enough for years, and we're already filling it, filling it up after being only here 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so tell me, why did you start working for Helium 10, you personally?
I used to be a consultant for Amazon sellers, so I worked for companies full time and also part time. You know, helping launch products. I launched over 400 products before I worked here, but I would use Helium 10 like the second year or the last year that before I joined here, and it was funny because I'm the kind of person who I get mad when people are spreading wrong information on the internet and stuff. Like even 10 years ago, I was the one who was always argue on message boards and have online wars with people and stuff. But so now, you know, now in 2018, 2019, it's about Facebook groups. So I would go on the Helium 10 Facebook group and somebody is posting something wrong, and I would write this big long novel about and screenshots and why they're wrong. And so the owners of Helium was like, who is this guy? You know, so they found out I didn't live very far, like hour away from the office. Like, hey, we want to talk to you. Come up here and, and meet us. And then I just thought I was going to meet the team, and they're like, oh, we want to hire you. I'm like, what? You know, so it was that's kind of how it happened. So don't make fun of the people who are arguing on the internet. Sometimes it works out.
That's one unusual way of recruiting people.
Right?
But you seem pretty happy at Helium 10, right?
Yeah, this is like the best job I've ever had in my life. So, and that was kind of like why I did Zumba. I have a philosophy in life, is like the best kind of profession is number one, to do something that you used to pay to do. And number two, to have it affect people's lives in a positive way. And I had found that in Zumba because when I was overweight, or I still am overweight now. I stopped doing Zumba. Now I gained 15 kilos. But anyways, when I was really, really overweight, I had to lose weight. So I would pay to take Zumba classes. That was like my thing. That was like fun. And then all of a sudden I became paid to do what I used to pay. You know, like it's something I enjoyed so much that I paid to do. I mean, how many of us have a job where we could say that I would be willing, I love it so much, I would be willing to pay to do it. Like, I know you love your company, but I don't know if you would pay to work there, Christina, but like I was being paid to do Zumba. And then not only that, I'm helping people lose weight and like have a positive effect in their life. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. I was like, I'm never going to have that again. But then here it was, you know, for a year, I was paying to use Helium 10 because I loved it. You know, I was paying the money for it every month. And now I'm being paid to use Helium 10. And through these videos, it's like I'm having a positive effect in people's lives, right? And so it's like, to me, this is, you know, no matter what profession you're in, that is the ultimate of a fulfilling profession that you could have.
Very wise words. And I mean, as you stated before, you love spreading knowledge. So, I mean, that's basically what you do, right? I mean, you're basically on 90% of all the Helium 10 videos.
Yes. We're trying to, we just hired some more people to give me some help on those, but I love it. You know, like sometimes I'll just work here all night doing videos because it's fun. It's fun to me. So yeah.
Speaking of loving your work, what do you like most about the whole Amazon industry? Or are there also things that you don't like?
You know, of course, with Amazon, it gets on people's nerves sometimes because they change rules all the time, you know, both for tool companies and both for sellers because they're so focused on the buyers, you know, so it causes a lot of people problems when that happens. But, you know, in the last, I don't know how many years there, in my opinion, there's no other way that really anybody can make a living so fast. Like, I'm not saying, hey, everybody can make $1 million a year, but there's almost nothing out there that has so many success stories that Amazon has. And just, to be successful doesn't mean you make $1 million or make 100,000. I mean, people are like, hey, I want to be able to supplement my income or double my income of my day job. And they can do that within months, you know, on Amazon. And so that's just amazing to me. And I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. There's still tons of opportunity out there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people argue, especially in the Facebook groups, like, is the Amazon FBA era over? But I don't think that's the case.
Nope, not at all.
What was your worst and your best moment during your time at Helium 10 so far?
Worst moment, I would have to say we did this. They always take us out on these company outings, right? So we did what's called a terrain race. I didn't even know what a terrain, maybe you don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was. Terrain race is we go and it's like 5 miles run kind of like, and there's obstacles and climbing through mud and climbing over things. And like the very last obstacle is we have to go, I don't know what, I think it's called like monkey bars. Like, and you have to like try and get across. And then if you don't, you fall into this like big tub of muddy water and stuff. So I couldn't even make it one ring and I fell and I was like completely soaking wet. So that was the worst moment, I think. And it's funny because they just sent the email. It's been a year. They just sent the email like, okay, guys, we're going to sign up for this year's terrain race. Who's in? I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. But my best moment probably was last week, I would say, when I was speaking at SellerCon. That's the biggest conference for Amazon sellers, and I was on a stage in front of 3,000 people talking about what I love, and it was the same stage as that weekend was, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean, he was like there. I'm like there with people like that, and that just kind of blows my mind knowing that 2 years ago nobody in the Amazon world even knew who I was. But thanks to Helium 10, now I'm able to affect a lot of people's lives in a positive way with Helium 10 and just talking about Amazon in general. So that was probably my favorite moment so far.
Oh, that
Other
sounds
than
amazing.
you here and doing this video.
Of course. That's what I hear all the time. I mean, if your worst moment is falling off like a ladder, that says something about your job. I mean, it could be worse, right?
It could be a lot worse, yes.
And I mean, you have a tequila tasting room, so that makes up for it. So
even if something bad happens, I just go right there. I'll forget all about it.
So maybe sign up for this year's Terrace Race too.
Yeah. You can come over here and take my place because I for sure.
I'm good. So what's your overall vision with Helium 10, and which direction do you want to develop?
Well, we have so many users right now, but compared to the actual number of Amazon sellers, it's nothing. So I want to just keep getting out there because the reason why you hear stories sometimes about, oh, it's too late to be on Amazon is because, before you didn't really need tools to be on Amazon. You could just like find products randomly and be successful, but now there is more competition. It's still possible, but you almost have to have these tools that can help take a 20-hour project and put it down to like 10 minutes, because of the automation and different ways to check. So of the people now who are saying, oh, it's too late, is because they're not using tools. So I know that there's people that we can help out there to get on Amazon or help scale their business. Maybe if their business is going down because now whatever techniques they used to use doesn't work anymore. So my goal is to just keep spreading the word about Helium 10 to help people. And then, even though we have so many tools, there's still some things that we might not have that people are asking for. So we've been really studying what the people are asking for, and hopefully we'll have everything, within the next year or so that everybody wants.
I was gonna ask what the secret to your success is, because you scaled pretty fast, right?
Yes.
So is your secret to success that you work so closely with your customers and that you are also engaging in the Facebook groups and can like directly hear on the field what the problems are? And
I think so. I mean, that's one of them. I mean, we have like 24-hour customer support. We don't try and save money or cut corners. We want to make sure we're available for all our customers. And every tool that we have launched recently has been from customers. Like they're the ones who ask for it, and then it's like, okay, yeah, well, we'll go ahead and make that. So when you make the customers first, I think the customers can see that. And then plus we just have a really, really amazing marketing team. You have companies out there who say, oh, webinars are dead or things like that. That's so 2016 because, people will try and do a live video or a webinar and nobody will sign up, for it. Right. So like I saw another company, they were promoting some live video for like a week. And then I went there 1 hour after that video was on and they had total of 5 viewers, And then us though, like I just put one video up, or I was going to do a Facebook Live, and I only announced it 1 hour before. And then our team just sent out like a little mini chat. And by 1 hour after our video, we had over 800 views already. So it's about the marketing side too, like really trying to go out and find, the people who want to consume this information. And then everything we do is like for free. All of the information, all the videos I do, all the trainings, the live videos, it's all free. We're not trying to monetize that. And I think people can appreciate that we're just trying to educate people, and that's what we do. Very
cool. Very good. If you could hire any famous person in the whole
world, I would hire you.
I'm not quite sure if my colleague would like that so much.
Okay. We'll edit that out of the video.
He's sitting right in the office next to mine.
Okay. Whoops. She would never, of course, she would never
I
leave.
love my job so much here. I would never leave.
Even, do they give you massages there? Do they have a professional chiropractor who comes? Do they give you terrain races there at Sermondo?
No benefit in the whole world could ever drag me out of this office. No, for real. Who would you hire? Like, you're free to choose any person.
I would have to say Jeff Bezos, because then we could just get anything we wanted at Amazon. But in actuality, I don't know. That's a very good question. I have no idea. I mean, that's the first thing that comes to mind because he's famous, and then obviously that would help us. But it sounds corny. Might sound ridiculous, but we have such an amazing company culture here. Like, we're from top to bottom, everybody's like on the same page, and that's all. I mean, that's all that matters. We don't have any famous people, here, but so maybe a famous person might not even be a good fit because we have some amazing company culture. But we'll see. How about you? Who would you guys, you and your colleague there, if you could add another person, who would you guys want?
I think I would hire Kevin King just because he has such an amazing reach and he could really bring us forward. So when I was writing down that question, like, of course, for you, I was also instantly thinking about Jeff Bezos. I had a previous interview with another service provider who said something different. And I was really amazed because I thought that's the next logical step somehow, because then you have the brain in your company. But also that would be too easy, right? Yeah,
it would be too easy. But yeah, I want to say that I consider every person here, my coworkers, celebrities in their own right. So.
Oh, that's so cute. Ladies and gentlemen, that's corporate culture done right here at Helium 10. Okay. My last question would be, can you name 3 tips that you would give to any Amazon seller out there?
Number 1 is put your buyer's hat on. Don't always think like a seller. So we have here, this is my seller's hat. So you need to put the buyer's hat on, right? So that's literally, but in figuratively too, because I think that is a big mistake that sellers make, is they start thinking so much about metrics and special things in Amazon and back end and algorithms and things. But at the end of the day, they forget who is the one who they need to make happy. It's the buyer. That's the one who's going to buy your product. So that in itself is a number 1 tip, to always think about who your customer is. Number 2 is to maybe go to your website to be able to find, great service providers. And then number 3 is use Helium 10.
You heard the man. Very good tips. I can only agree. Well, right. Thank you. That's it already. I love how you're able to answer so fast, but you're also professional. You don't really have to think about your answers. They just come right from your brain. And it was
even if I mess up, I don't care. That's why, I have we actually have now the number 1 most listened to podcast about Amazon in the world, Serious Sellers Podcast. And I do not rehearse one thing. I don't practice. I don't have notes. I don't have anything. And always when I'm inviting a guest, they'll ask me like, all right, what are you going to ask me? I'm like, I don't know. It's just going to be whatever. So I think that's important. That was going back to my Zumba days. Like I said, I was not a great dancer. Like, I was a sumo wrestler. Of course, I'm not a great dancer, But the reason why I got so popular was because I was relatable. I was just a normal guy that people can relate to. And, I mess up sometimes. And people like that. It's like, wow, okay, he's normal. I mess up too. So like they can relate to me more than like, some professional dancer. And that's another thing that, buyers or sellers, should think about is just be you. Like, I do these podcasts. I'll mess up sometimes, but everything I do is I try to be organic, and just make it like a normal conversation. I think that's what people like. So, that's another piece of advice, to just be you. And if you mess up, great, but at least you're real,
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching my little interview with Bradley Sutton. If you want to learn more about Helium 10, I put the link in the description, as well as a link to the Serious Sellers podcast, in case you're interested in listening to that. And yeah, I hope to see you soon.